Hi guys, it's Jessica, and in this week's episode, I'm going to be talking to you guys about sports, high school sports. So I'm going to be first talking about how the technicalities of the sports throughout the seasons go, and also which sports are available during which seasons. Then I'm going to go into how the sports are split up between grades and between genders. And then finally, I'm going to give a rundown about how exactly to join or to try out for the sports teams. So first and foremost, how exactly are all the sports running throughout the school year spread out throughout the year? So in high school, sports are usually split up among seasons. And so during fall, when the semester first starts, the weather outside is not too hot and not too cold. And so there'll be many outdoor sports that are open, such as football, rugby, and cross country, which is running. And then during the winter time, when the weather gets too cold outside to practice these outdoor sports, there'll be sports that are practiced indoors that open, such as volleyball and basketball, where you can practice indoors on a court. Lastly, during the spring semester, there'll be a new round of both outdoor and indoor activities open because the weather is nice outside to practice again outside. And so there'll be a mix of indoor sports such as badminton and also outdoor sports such as rugby, football, and cross country again. Just a little mention that during the winter time, there's also going to be hockey running throughout that time, but teams usually practice at a separate arena outside of the school for that. Now I'm going to move on to exactly how the sports team are devised into different grades and different genders. So in high school, most of these sports are split into senior and junior teams. And so the junior teams are the grade 9s and 10s who want to try out and who want to be a part of the sports team. And the senior teams are the grade 11s and 12 who want to try out and be a part of the sports team. And it's split this way so there's not too much of an unfair advantage for the younger or for the older students on one school team. Now, aside from different groupings in age, there's also different groupings in genders, and so all the sports are usually split into boys and girls. And so in total, there's going to be 4 categories. So there's going to be girls junior, girls senior, boys junior, and boys senior. And this is for each sport that you will have in high school. Now, finally, moving on to how exactly to sign up for these sports teams. So if you're someone who really enjoys activities and really enjoys having sports in their lives, then I heavily encourage you to sign up for one of these teams when the semester starts. So how to do that is usually when the semester starts and the morning announcements, there'll be regular reminders in the mornings telling you which sports are happening when the tryouts for certain sports are starting. So once you hear the sport that you want to go into and also hear your grade and gender of the sport that it's open to, you can go in for tryouts where there's going to be a set date. And these tryouts usually happen during lunchtime or during school time, so make sure to carefully listen to the announcements for that. And so depending on how many people try out for the sport, there's going to be maybe 1, 2, 3 tryout sessions. And then after each tryout section, the coaches are going to give a cutoff. And so they're going to say which people can move on to the next tryout. And then in the final tryout, they're going to say which people can make it to the actual school team. So once you actually make it onto a school team for the sport that you want to play, congratulations. All the fees of your respective sports are usually paid off by the school, and so the equipment that you use and all the field trips that you go on are usually paid by the school. However, there'll usually be additional fees for you to actually join the team, and so things such as transportation fees. If you are going to a game outside of our school, you'll have to pay a small fee for that at the beginning of the season. And then after that, if you make it onto the team, there'll be regular practices like every week or every other day that you'll have to attend on to practice for your games and tournaments. Now moving on to the most exciting part about high school sports, which is actually playing in the games and the tournaments against other teams. And then usually you will either travel to other schools in the same school board to play their team at that school, or you might play the other team and they'll travel to your school. And then usually students can stay and watch the games if it's a game happening after school, or even if it's a game happening during school hours, then students can pay to get out of their classes to watch this game happen. And so that's the final rundown about how high school sports work. I really hope that you consider joining a high school sport during your school career, because it is a really great way to make new friends or to just have some physical activity during your studies. So if there's any other further questions about these high school sports, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. And also feel free to leave any additional videos that you might want to see in the future from my account. So I hope you guys learned something from this video, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!